I'm what you call an overeducated fool. I know exactly what to do, but I'm inconsistent. Eat better, move more, sleep earlier. I just can't stick to it. And it finally caught up with my health. And so I ran a 21-day experiment, not for motivation, but for follow-through. This is Operation Follow-Through. Everything I did came back to 3 main pillars that governs our everyday life. Our body, our environment, and our identity. First, I stabilized my energy. No more yo-yo, no more crashes. And that means eating within an hour of waking. Now, coffee. I used to drink it every morning, replacing breakfast. But now, the new rule is no coffee before food. I swear I ate before having this coffee. And to stabilize my blood sugar, protein anchors my every meal. I meant real protein, like eggs and meat patties and tofu. I love tofu. Now, hydration. While there is no strict amount of water you should drink each day, women should drink about roughly 9 cups of fluids per day, while men should drink about 13 cups of fluids per day. Here's some hydration basics: a glass of water after waking, before meals, after meals, and sip during workouts. Now for an amateur's foodie's guide to portion control. Hara Hachibu, a Japanese philosophy that just makes sense. And it means eating till 80% full no matter how yummy the food is. And sometimes that just means using a smaller bowl. When it comes to exercise, especially strength training, I focus on control form over intensity. If I feel strong, I go heavier. If I feel flat, I go lighter. On low energy day, I choose to walk outdoors and hang out with friends who lift me up. At night, I'll do some stretches while watching TV. And most importantly, I get to pet all the cute doggos during my walk. And now my most hated exercise, running. To learn the movement again, I run 3 times a week. This is what my week looks like. The plan is meant to be flexible, giving just enough structure to help build healthy habits. Pillar 2, environment. Not this environment. I meant screens, particularly our phone. So I decided to have no phone during meals and no phone for 30 minutes after waking. And most importantly, no scrolling after 8 p.m. I've also removed social media apps from my home screen. And if I want to go onto Instagram, I have to search for it. That tiny bit of friction of typing it gives my brain just enough time to notice what I'm doing. Yes, I am currently sitting on the toilet. 2 little lorikeets have given me so much joy. And as you can see, they are really messy eater. To build long-lasting habits, I built an identity feedback loop. So I compress everything into one daily check-in, asking one question. Did I do the thing today that compounds towards the person I've decided to become? I track it using Amy Satisfaction Rating. For the next 21 days, I'll record a daily score from 0 to 100. Plus a quick self-check-in video. Filming these check-ins felt really awkward at first, talking to myself. Some days I talk a lot, some days I have no words. Either way, it makes it really hard to lie to myself. Everyone's obsessed with tracking progress, charts, numbers, trackers, but for me, it creates a false sense of productivity. I feel busy, not better. So I stopped chasing short-term progress and started chasing long-term rewards. So, this was me, 15 years later, doing my first run. Please bear with me for the next 10 seconds for some awkward hip circles, stiff knees, and questionable coordination. I wasn't exactly breaking any records here, but my heart rate was at 177. Honestly, I felt like I was dying, but somehow also flying at the same time. Home workout was surprisingly easy. Maybe because I have all the weights at home and don't have to commute to the gym. And I'm focusing on compound movements like squats, deadlifts, or kettlebell swing. All the things that I used to do. Okay, this is day 3. Now let's get back to more awkward warm-ups. I must admit, the second run was way easier and I felt fantastic. Then there is the thing with coffee. The first few days were tough. I was experiencing migraines. But once I got outside and started walking or running, my energy kind of stabilizes and felt much better. And yes, I still keep my weekend indulgence at the cafe with my partner because balance is key. Day 5 of Operation Follow Through and it's 9:03 p.m. I think I'm giving it a 98. That's an almost perfect day. And mentally, I'm really proud of myself. Here are the scores for the first week. Honestly, I am proud of this. My weekly average scores comes down to 91.14. Oh, I got some cramp. I knew this was gonna happen. Okay, week 2. My body finally feels the impact of suddenly moving again. I am sore everywhere, but I slept like a baby. Never thought I'll say this. I'm starting to like running. I am slow, my feet hurt, my calf cramps, but there is something weirdly freeing about it. My post-workout banana. At this point, I need fresh tunes for my runs, so help me out and drop your playlist in the comments so I can freshen mine up. Maybe if I eaten this before I run, I wouldn't have the cramp. I have to look into this. Every morning I wake up hurting and somehow in a really good mood. So I thought I'll just make a quick video to show you guys what I typically eat in the morning. So I love miso soup, and with protein anchoring every meal, that means I eat eggs, tofu, and to keep up my hydration, I also take a lot more soup. So we have miso soup with seaweed and I don't know how to call this mushroom, just I'll put the name down, and just a simple fried egg. So I already had some yogurt and fruits in the morning, and this is the other proper breakfast after my run and shower, and I'll have coffee 30 minutes after this. Ever since I started waking up at the same time every day and going straight outside, I care way less about how I look. I used to worry about looking silly in public. Now I'm out here doing my weird stretches on the lawn. And honestly, I don't care anymore. Reducing screen time got easier too. Cause I stretch while watching TV. I think it's genius. I got no free hands to scroll anyway. By the time I finish stretching, it's time for bed. And mindless scrolling kinda just drops off. Cause I gotta charge my phone outside the bedroom. So it's day 14. And one thing with consistency is also thinking about volume. So volume does count. So I want to try to focus on just learn from the past mistakes and the past creation and what I did, and then apply that to apply the lessons I learned from then onwards to the next thing I worked on. So far so good. So the score is not bad. Today is going to be a 90. And video is done as well. So good day. See you tomorrow. Week 2 scorings were not bad. I had a couple lower score day, but that's just because I was feeling so sore. Anyway, week 2 average scores comes down to 85, and that is a distinction for me. It is week 3 and we are almost there. But it's a comparison of color. My color and your color. Look, oh my god. Look, would you like some blush?
No, I don't need blush.
Only running can give me a whole face flush. I don't even remember if I have the same effect.
What's up?
I don't remember if I have the same effect on the face when I drink. I don't think so. But running, oh yeah, 5 minutes is enough. Don't have blush, just run. Solid makeup advice. And then you can arrive at your date sweaty and smelly, but you have some color in you. Why spend money on makeup when you can just run? Anyway, by week 3, I was feeling strong. Recovery was much faster and movement becomes lighter, except for my plantar fasciitis. It hurts like your ex. No closure, just recurring pain that makes you go a little cuckoo. Food got much simpler, especially if I'm cooking. I am not exactly Gordon Ramsay, and my cooking is basically whatever I can think of. Even though I could follow a recipe in the lab as a scientist, I could not in the kitchen. Now a dash of water. I prefer it grandma style. A pinch of this, a dash of that, and if I feel it needs more, I'll add more. Ta-da! So that's a little bit different. On normal days, I eat with my partner and I always cook for 2. He is not around tonight, so I'm eating by myself. One of the main things with Operation Follow Through isn't I don't really have a very strict plan for diet or food choices, because I realize with all those diet and everyone trying to tell you to eat healthy, and there's so many different things to juggle, that was my problem to begin with. I just want something that is sustainable and enjoyable for me to build this as a habit. Now in the future, if I feel like going a little bit more into details and optimizing my diet, yes I will. I will do another experiment, but for now I'm happy with this. And most of all, I'm very excited for my miso soup. No phone during meals has been the most underrated habit change I've done. It has become sort of a mindfulness practice, really chewing and savoring your food in each bite. In the beginning, I felt bored, and from learning to be bored to focusing on each bite has helped me realize that we have become such an anxious society that even meal times are not focused. And it's my last running day before tomorrow, which is my last day, to be ended with my favorite exercise. Lower body strength, but I think I run my fastest today and the longest without resolving to walk. And the walking in between is shorter and shorter. Yeah, I'll continue. It's day 21. Okay, so this experiment is officially finished, but I suppose the actual habit isn't, my lifestyle isn't, but I'm very happy I did this. I feel strong, I feel happy, my mood is quite stable, I don't get this crazy spike up and down, which I suppose probably caused by bad habits like drinking a lot of coffee with empty stomach. I'm ending it, the experiment, well, first phase of this experiment, with a flying high score of 98. Why 98? Why not 100? Because there's always room for improvement, so room for improvement it is. I will work on that extra too. There are a lot above 90 scores in week 3. Unfortunately, I kind of miss a few daily video check-in, mostly because I forgot about it. This experiment is ending on a very high average score for week 3, a 93.14. If you're watching this hoping for a massive transformation in 3 weeks, this isn't that video. Physically, I might feel stronger, but visually, there has been no changes yet. The real result of this experiment isn't physical, it's mostly mental. It's showing up on the days I don't film and still doing the thing, resisting the urge to quit early or overuse my capacity, doing the work even while doubting myself. And that's an uncomfortable part that no one's really posts about. Real progress is slow. We see people running 10k, 20k, 50k, even 100k. We see people David Goggins their way into toughness. But we don't see how many people burn out along the way. Not gave up, just gave out. I've always believed in balance, just like the teachings from Shaolin monks. Real strength lives in the middle, between action and stillness, hardness and softness, body and mind. We all want the finish line right now, but our present days, even the slow ones, are what compounds into our future. So 21 days isn't the finish line. It's just long enough for me to prove to myself that consistency is possible.
Passengers requiring special assistance.
And here comes the real experiment. I'm heading home to Malaysia for Chinese New Year. Hello again from Sydney Airport. What I want to say is, I want my habits, my lifestyle to travel with me. Not just work when life bends around them. I want them to stick even when the environment's going to be different. And that's real life, isn't it? Like, you don't always get the best environment. I'll be honest, it's going to be messy. I might slip, I might cave in to temptations. If you get what I'm talking about, hang around. Subscribe and like if follow through matters more than motivation to you. Try your own 21-day experiment, see what sticks, and I hope you share it with me. Comment below if you want a part 2 of this operation. And this is Amy Experiment, and this was Operation Follow Through. And now let me get back to exploring Fort Channing Park in Singapore. See you in my next video. Could be a travel vlog. I'm feeling like it. It's beautiful here. Hi, Benda.